Welcome to Rome. This is The Bittersweet Life with Katy Sewell and Tiffany Parks.
Is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anything that you adore and love. That's where I'm going to stop.
Hello, this is The Bittersweet Life. I'm Katy Sewell. Tiffany is away this week, but I am joined with these very musical people. Who is this?
I'm Dana Zoller. Sara Cole.
And who are you for the uninitiated?
Oldest sister.
Middle sister.
And I'm the youngest sister. And here we are. We're recording this a little bit in advance to when you're hearing it. We are on Sisterfest currently as we're recording, which is our annual trip together. This year, the expanded edition, because we brought the husbands with us on Sisterfest, which is unusual, but we have managed to grab a moment for ourselves. And since this is the week of Valentine's Day, we're going to be talking about love.
Oh.
Now, in what way are we going to talk about it? Well, we'll find out. Okay, so when I talk about love right now, let's say, what comes to top of mind for you? Let's just kind of go around the corner. What type of love, I suppose? Dana?
I think about, well, maybe this because of the context we're in right now, but family love. It's the first one probably that we all, I'm speaking for my family, have all experienced first. Like you're born into a family and you've got your parents, or if you're lucky enough to have two like we did. And then the siblings come along, and now I expand that, now that I'm grown, to my husband and my own two kids. So that's what I think of first.
Okay. Dana is the sibling among us who has the most animals in the house. An uncountable number, honestly, which sounds crazy, but it is countable in the sense that there are 3 dogs and 2 cats, but then an uncountable and ever-changing number of fish. So that's why they're uncountable.
Fish and invertebrates and other sea life.
Yes. So how do you feel about the animals compared to the family love?
Well, of course I love my animals. It's on a different level. It's on a, I don't know, cutesy. I always wanted dogs my whole life, asked for it every birthday, every gift-giving, holiday, Christmas. Never got one, ever. And so now I have 3. I've had one ever since I was an adult. So since I turned to be an adult, and I love my dogs. Yes. And my cats.
But they are at a different tier since you also have children.
Yes, they're on a different tier. They're on a slightly lower tier, depending on the day.
I've always wondered about that as a person who doesn't have kids and, sometimes talks about my cats as if they are children, even though I know they're not and I don't feel about them like they are. But I always wonder if there's a big differentiation between how much somebody loves their animals if they don't have anything else in their home. All right, Sara, what do you want to answer for the initial opening question about love?
Oh, that's a good question. I guess probably romantic love comes to mind first when I hear the word love.
In what way?
I don't know. I guess that just has the strongest connotation for me when you think about love. You got, starting with Pepe Le Pew when you're young, and, all of the hearts bubble up when you're talking about romantic love in the cartoons and all the things. I mean, it's just stereotypical, but yet, accurate.
That's true. We're raised on romance stories, really. Really.
Yeah. So I guess that's probably what comes to mind. But I agree. Family love is pretty amazing, and we're very lucky on that front to have such amazing family members and so much love. I don't know if that's always the case for people, so we're very blessed.
Mm-hmm. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a hug around the neck, and a barrel and a heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you.
Dana is our musical sister.
About you.
Dana is our musical sister.
There's so many great songs about love. How could you, you'll have to sprinkle some in the for the listeners.
Do you feel, I mean, yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Do you feel like as a former, Dana was a choir teacher for many, many years. How long?
33 years.
33 years. Do you think that love is the predominant topic that is sung about from your experience?
Certainly if you're talking about pop songs and opera. I mean, probably. If you had to pick one theme over that has the most songs written about it, probably is some variation of love.
/ heartbreak. It's always like if you were to lump in all the songs having to do with love in a bad way too, broken hearts plus loving hearts and all the hearts.
Okay, so let's go a little crazier.
You didn't answer the question that you started us out with.
What do you think of, Katy?
When I think about love, I think, well, if I'm going to try to answer something different than what you both have covered it kind of grandly. I mean, I guess oftentimes when I think about love, if I'm not going to cite family love or romantic love, I guess I think a lot about friendship love because I have a few. I don't think like friends get enough credit oftentimes. You know, I feel like, you know, the spouses get credit, the family gets credit, but the friends who are sometimes the most consistent people don't get enough credit for the way that you love them in a way that's unlike all the other things, you know, and can be as, it's not romantic, but it can be as deep as that kind of romantic love where you just sort of adore somebody, if you know what I mean. Somebody that you've known a long time that knows you very deeply.
Were you meaning it doesn't get the acknowledgement like by society or by songs or, you know?
Yeah, I mean, even by like just history, when you think about your kids, what will Evan and Gracie remember about all of us when the three of us are gone? It's like they're not going to remember that, you know, their mom had a great friend named, you know, so-and-so, or like that, you know, Katie's best friend was best friends with lots of people from high school her whole life or whatever. The friends just sort of fade away into they get lost to memory, I think, a lot of times. And I think there's also this, oftentimes this feeling that, I mean, in relationships too, but friends come and go is something you'll hear people say, that there are people for a certain time, but not forever. I feel like we have this expectation that the spouses are going to kick around for the entire time and the friends are going to kind of come in like the waves, come in and out, come in and out. And I think that's true. I think some friendships are only for a time, but I don't feel like the like lifelong friends often get highlighted enough.
I don't know if I have lifelong friends. Everybody who's been a friend in my life has a special place in my life, but I'm not sure there's anybody in my life like from my childhood, like Tiffany is for you, for example. You have a long friend. I mean, I still keep in touch sort of with them or follow them on Facebook or wish people well. But I do have more chapters with friends, different life stages with different friends.
Yeah, maybe that is how many people experience it.
Well, it could be because I moved more. Well, you've moved quite a bit too, but your friend.
She's gesturing to Dana, if in case you're wondering. She's not talking to me.
Sorry, yeah. And Katy used to live where you grew up, so it's like I'm not great at like staying in super touch with friends once I move out of the area. I should be better at that, but I just don't. I tend to move to the next support system nearby. And maybe that's because my family lives so far away that I've always had to build who's going to help me with a flat tire or something. You know, I couldn't just call Dad or call one of you guys. So like you have to have your community nearby. So I invest in the people close to me. But that does mean that if I've moved away from others, I'm always happy to hear from them, but I don't necessarily like, oh, I'm going to fly to go see so-and-so now, you know, and stay good, close friends with anybody like that from when I was younger.
Well, just that I have one friend from high school, you know, Kim, this
is Dana, by the way.
Oh, this is Dana. One of my best friends since I was 16. We've stayed in and out of touch with each other, but have lived in the same general area as each other for the last 15 years or so and have managed to keep that relationship close. And then I would say, when anyone says, who are your best friends? Like, I'm always like Sara and Katy. They're my best friends. And like, sisters are my best friends. Because I'm just not a best friend making kind of person. I used to chalk that up to not having time. And most of my close friends have been my colleagues that I've worked with year after year after year, particularly the ones that are in the arts that I've either had a bunch of meetings with or we put on productions together and things like that. And so after my diagnosis this spring, one of the greatest joys for me has been reconnecting with lots of different people who heard about it and who are reaching out. But in particular, there's probably 5 or 6 women that have been my friends during my career that I've been in regular touch with now since my diagnosis, which has been really awesome. Because sometimes when you move jobs, you say you're going to stay in contact because you're so close. You spend a lot of time together during the school day, during the work day. And in my case, in after school production rehearsals and stuff like that. So it's been really nice to have those friendships blossom again.
I think every friendships take either there has to be one person in the friend group who's really good at connecting people and getting them together. And there's always a friend who's like, let's go to coffee,
Is that you, Kate, for your friend group?
Well, let Sarah finish her thought first.
That is me for my friend group. And so when I move, I don't tend to do it. And then whoever the friend is, I think it's because I'm quite the decision maker in my life. I tend to attract friends that are like, oh, great, she'll kind of... the people pleasers. I attract people pleasers who are just like, oh, yes, somebody will just tell me what to do and I'll know that she'll be happy if I just go along with it kind of people. And I love having friends that are not that, that are willing to make decisions about where we're going to go to lunch. But, so then if I stop doing it for any reason, because I moved far away or, got a different life circumstance inspires, you need a different type of support than your friend can give you. I don't have a lot of friends in my life who are the ones who are going to kind of keep moving the relationship along, because that's always my role. So I do think that's different than family. I always see you guys, you're sort of willing to do it. Family is sort of stuck doing it, whether you want to or not. And we're lucky that we like each other. and you have 2 built-in good girlfriends, so I don't need a bunch of extras.
Yeah.
In our
You've
sister.
got a friend in me. Do. You've got a friend in me. Feel free to cut this.
To answer your question, Dana, am I that person? I think I have other friends who are those people as well, but I do think that I think what I am is a person who's not afraid to reach out to somebody, even if they didn't text me back last time. I don't hold grudges and be like, well, I don't know, it didn't get back to me last time. So, I have one friend who is a good friend, and she might be listening. Hi, if you are, who doesn't live in my same town, and so I don't see her very often, but I really do enjoy writing her letters. And she, has a harder time writing me back. She's got 2 little kids. She's got stuff to do, and so anytime she does write me back, part of the letter is apologizing for how long it's taken her to write me back. And I just am one of those people where I don't really care. I just enjoyed writing you a letter, and it was as if I got to spend some time with you. And if you write me back, that's great, but you don't have to apologize for that it took you forever. I don't mind.
Those are the best kinds of friendships, I think. The older I get, the more I'm just there can't be any pressure to the friendship. It has to just be happy to see you when we can get together. It's okay if you can't get together. I've always been really lucky with my friends, but I've had other friends complain about some of their friends and just be like, God, I just had to finally just kind of write her off because there was just so much drama. Every time you'd be like, why has it been 2 weeks since you wrote me back? I'm like, oh my God, no.
Yeah, I don't do drama. Maybe that's another thing too. So, but yeah, I don't think I'm particularly gifted at reaching out or trying to put, I think one thing I do love doing, but I haven't done it in years, probably not since COVID, is what I do love is if I have kept in touch with various people who I know, loosely know on each other, but I know that they are not seeing each other ever. I do love throwing together the occasional party where I invite this group of people that I knew in high school and this other group of people that I knew in high school who I know each other, but I know haven't seen each other in 15 years, and have them end up at the same party together. That is a delight for me because for them it's fun. They're just like, oh my gosh, what's up with you? And I love making something like that happen, but it's been a while. I haven't done that in a long time.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, maybe for Valentine's Day this year, I'll get it together. Probably not. Okay, so moving on. so we don't just talk about friend love unless you want to do that for the rest of the time. What is, just because, let's talk about something funny and fun. What is the weirdest, dumbest thing, person, whatever, you've ever had a crush on growing up? I have an answer. Sarah has an answer. Should I start? I've been talking a lot. I can start.
I just recently went and saw my first crush again because I live in Montana, and they brought, I don't know if they did this across the country or if this was specific to my movie theater, but they brought back the movie that my first crush was in recently and played it on the big screen. And you're wondering what that was?
I am.
It was The Dark Crystal, and I had a crush on the puppet.
Wait, I had a crush on the puppet.
I know, we've always had the same taste in men. The long-haired puppet. We were always dark skin, long hair was our MO. And so now that I watched it back, I was like made the kids go, and I was just like, see, wasn't he cute? And they're just like, a little bit of a,
He's an annoying character.
yeah, he's kind of a sissy pants. I don't know what to call him. But
His name is Jen, is that right? Jen from The Dark Crystal. He's a puppet.
he's very broody. All he does is sit around. The only thing he adds to the movie is a little bit of, oh, I wonder if blank. Oh, I wonder if blank.
Yeah,
I'd be
he-
like,
well-
oh my God, your life is in danger. And
He's the explainer. He's the explaining character. So the character that's like, what's the shard? What does the shard look like? A shard is important. Everybody pay attention to the idea of the shard. I'm confused about the shard. How do I find the shard? He's that character that's just like, these are the details you need to remember to make sense of this movie.
Meanwhile, Akira is the one who saves everybody's lives and makes the actual thing happen.
probably says a lot about my early man life choices.
Well, okay, so first off, just to break the suspense, my first crush, well, it wasn't my first crush, but my most inappropriate crush was also on the same puppet from the Jim Henson School of Puppetry. And I just knew it was like one of those things you can't mention it to mom because it's not right to like a puppet in that way. But I don't think it had anything to do with his personality. I think it had to do with just his adventuring looks or something like that.
It's just cute.
I liked Scott Baio a lot from Happy Days when he was Chachi. That was one of my first crushes in terms of on-screen.
Didn't you have him on your wall? Did you have a poster of him, or was that somebody else?
Maybe, but I remember Ricky Schroeder was the other one that you could tell I'm an 80s kid. And ironically, well, this doesn't really matter. Both of them, and when I remember just thinking, I can't wait until I can meet them and get married. I'm like, politically, we are very far apart. And for both people, I don't think that would have worked out. Not to mention the 30-year age gap. 20-year age gap.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing about kind of crushing love as a kid is that you feel like that, of course, if they meet you, they're going to fall for you, or like that you'll have a chance somehow, and that is
Just spot me in the crowd. Yeah.
I went one time to go meet Luke Perry when 90210 was a big thing. And I was a middle schooler, and there was hundreds of screaming middle school girls. And for some reason I thought he'll notice me, which if he was 32 years old, and been like, let's take that 7th grader to my room.
Yikes.
I know, it would have never happened. But for some reason, that's part of the dream, I guess. Okay, but so Scott Baio,
I guess I forgot about the inappropriate part of your question. He was just a TV star. It wasn't like I actually knew him. And he was much older than me, so I didn't know anything about politics when I was crushing on him.
of course, neither did he probably at that point.
Look, let's be honest. Jesus and the posters in Sunday school wasn't too bad looking either, but he felt inappropriate to have a crush on.
Did you have a crush on the posters of Jesus?
He was cute. He's cute. And quite frankly, he's got some abs when he's on the cross. Let's be honest.
Starved.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Well, we were just also discussing, if we're talking inappropriate, how old do you think you were when you had your first crush?
Like a real person that I knew.
Yes.
I think it was on Eric Hubbard. Hello, Hubbard family.
I think Julie listens.
Hi, Julie. I think it was on Eric Hubbard, and here's why. Their family also had 3 kids who were like 2 or 3 years apart, just like we have 3 kids. And it kind of started at the top, and every 3 years, one of us was born until the bottom. And so he was 6 or 7 years older than me, 6, 7. That'll date this. Sorry, I have a 15-year-old at home. That's been a theme this fall. And I liked his jacket. And so therefore, I liked him. Now, this is me being like 7. So it was nothing even within the realm of dreaming about this or thinking about that. Or I thought it was cute, and I really liked his jacket. And so...
Was it you or was it you, Katy, that didn't one of you really want an older brother?
Yeah, well, I wanted an older brother.
It wasn't me.
I did want an older brother because it was that whole, I don't know if anyone listening remembers this, but in the early 80s, lots of sitcoms, it was always like the older brother was taking care of the younger, sister and this and that. And I was like, oh, it'd be great if someone had my back, if I got into a rumble or, something like that. So, in, suburban, wherever, but anyway.
I mean, like quicksand, rumbles were possible back then.
Yeah, that's right. Quicksand also seemed just pervasive everywhere. It was a constant threat, along with tarantulas, which were also a constant threat in childhood.
Sarah, first, earliest crush on a real person that you recall?
I was probably 4th or 5th grade, I think, by the time I had a crush that I remember on somebody like my age, or even a real human that wasn't a puppet.
The puppet lasted that long? I feel like the puppet for me was a blip. But
Yeah, no, it was a blip. Then I had a significant crush right after the puppet on Mark Hamill because Return of the Jedi came out, and I was obsessed with that. But the first time, and that was about the same time that I started noticing boys in my class, and I had a crush on... I can't even say it. The poor kid. God, I feel bad for him. His name is Mike Hunt. And he just was this cute, nerdy little boy with dimples and glasses. But unfortunately, Josh Long liked me, who was also pretty cute. He was the first one who asked me out. And he came up to my locker. I was very shy. He came up to my locker and was like, hey, you want to go out with me? And I was like, I don't know. I'll think about it, and slammed my locker and rushed away embarrassed for some reason. But we were in the same gifted program class after school. And then soon after, we had this challenge that we had to do where we had to have a mouse trap set off some sort of chain of events that would then put out a birthday candle.
gosh, I remember this so much.
Yes. And I had it set off so that it would knock the first domino down, and the whole dominoes would go and drop the candle into a little thing of water, and it would go out. And as I was setting it off, Josh Long knocked the table and all the dominoes went down. And so I ended up with second place because I had to reset it up. And guess who won with his stupid little can that ran down the ramp? Josh. So of course we never dated. It was not a love match. But
I was in a play with Josh Long. Do you know that?
I wouldn't even recognize him now if I saw him in a picture.
He was in the first in a long line of men you dated with large ears.
Did he have large ears? Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't know if I only dated one person with large ears that I remember.
I can think of two. All right. Well, we only have about 5 minutes left, so let's see how we should wrap up this discussion of love.
Music? No,
okay, sure. Let's do it. Let's do it. Music, Dana. Since you're the musical one in the family, what music really tickles you?
Well, I love choral music of all kinds. The thing that really gets me, I'm always start tapping my foot immediately, is funk music. And my husband, if he was here, would say, but I never hear you listening to funk music ever. And I'm like, I do listen to it, maybe not near you, but it is the one that as soon as I hear it, I'm instantly super into it.
Yeah. Can we talk for a moment about your experience interacting with Prince?
Well, that's a much longer story.
We have time.
Love Prince.
I do. Yes, I still love Prince. Are you kidding?
That's the theme.
It's everywhere. No, I did. Loved Prince. It was the first cassette tape album I ever purchased, Purple Rain. And I ended up spending some time out at Paisley Park when I was in my mid-20s. In the summertime, he would open up the sound stage and have these parties, which then other musicians would come and his band would play, and then these musicians would sit in as guests and things like that. And so I was around him a lot. If you're a Prince fan, you don't really approach him, unless you want to be annoying. So I never approached him or whatever. But the best story that I have, which I will never forget, is that was one night we were out late with some of my friends from my master's degree program, and Evan's dad was there, who actually worked for Prince. Evan's my son. And they were having one of these parties, and he didn't show up until about 3 a.m. Prince didn't. But we had almost left, so we were in the back of the room about to exit the thing, and where he set up was literally 3 feet away from where we were standing. And all of a sudden he just shows up, and I look over and he's standing there. So then he proceeds to do this 3-hour concert, and I'm like standing 3 feet away from Prince the whole time, which was awesome. And I don't remember what song it was, but there was some song that he played, and I started clapping a triplet rhythm, triple, over the 4/4 time that he was doing. And all of a sudden I hear, I'm dancing and I'm clapping. I'm not really watching him. And all of a sudden I hear what I'm clapping in the rhythm of what he's playing on the keyboard. And I look over at him just in time to see him smile, make eye contact, and look away. And I'm like, oh my God, my Prince moment. So anyway, I will never forget that. That was awesome. I do love Prince. Oh, I should have started with that.
Since you've been that close to Prince, you're about 5'4". How tall do you think he was?
Oh, he is about 5'4" in his heels. I think he's like 5'1" or 5'2". He was.
It was my height.
Was a tiny, itty bitty person.
Yeah. Okay, Sarah, so Dana picked a love of music story. What do you want to say? A love of what story?
I get an unusual amount of joy and satisfaction, which I guess borders on love, and arranging my books by color and height and having them all nice and clean with their unbroken spines and all of those things. I get a strange amount of pleasure from that.
That's true. There was one time when I borrowed a book from Sarah and I accidentally broke the spine, and she made me buy another copy of it for her.
Yeah, I think you actually ripped the cover. It was more than just the spine.
Be that as it may. It doesn't lead to a very interesting story, but I'll end by saying, since you took it down a notch, it doesn't have to be a Prince encounter.
I don't have a Prince encounter.
I'm just kidding.
I did meet Kevin Bacon once, and he is also quite small. He's about my height, but very, very thin.
5'6" is Sarah's height.
Yeah.
But very thin, you said.
He's very thin, very small.
I was going to say that one thing that brings me quite a bit of joy for whatever reason, and I guess it's evident in the unofficial motto of the show, go see what the birds are doing, is that if I catch a bird washing itself in a bird bath, be it my own or anywhere else when I'm out taking a walk, I just love it. I don't know why it makes me so happy to see a bird fluffing around in water, but it really...
On the pond, too. I mean, they're so awesome.
It's universal, though. I'll pause if I notice it, if I'm at my desk working, and I can see my bird bath and my bird feeder through the back window when I'm working at my desk. If I see one get into the bath, because sometimes they just take a sip, but if I see one jump to the center, I'll get out the binoculars and stand up and watch it go. And
It does look like they're having more fun in their bath than I ever have in a bath.
Well, and I had one particularly great day last summer where a line formed.
Oh my God.
And so we had one in the bath, and then there was one waiting on the side, and then there was one waiting on the bush. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just going to be, I'm not going to get anything done for 15 minutes. So I'll end with that.
It is fun to see birds doing, bathing is fairly common for them, but it is fun to catch them doing something interesting where you kind of like feel like you're kind of a voyeur, right? Looking at somebody's, I'd be like, oh my God, I think he's actually building a nest. If I can watch far enough, I can find out where the nest is. He's carrying a piece of grass. He's got to be, and then you'd be like, oh my God, he's feeding a baby. 6 months later, this is amazing. Yeah.
That's true. I know.
Do you remember the day that you noticed birds for the first time? Because it's like, it does feel like it's like one of those things you go your whole life. I'm like, I don't remember birds in my childhood, really. I just remember like one day I cared about birds, and it'd be like, oh my God, we'll see what that bird is doing, and be like, wow, the whole world is full of birds. I never noticed that before. Yeah.
Yes, I started with ducks, and then when I lived in Minnesota, I had a bird feeder out in the backyard, and in the winter, there's so many different kinds of backyard birds that come. That's where it really took off for me. because I thought, oh, I'll just put out some bird seed. And all of a sudden I was like, there's another junco. There's a cardinal. I see something here. Yeah. Anyway, it was very exciting when you start learning more about them and that what's rare and what's not rare. And then you start buying all different kinds of seed. And then the rats come.
Very exciting. It is very exciting. Ducks, because ducks lived in our home growing up.
Yes, I've had 4 or 5 pet ducks.
Really?
Yeah.
Not many.
Yep.
I don't know.
I was not a fan of having pet ducks. Boy, they poop a lot. I was not thrilled with the indoor duck sitch when I was a duck sitter for you. Used to put them in the bathtub as a little playpen and just be like, here, why don't you come in here and swim for a while?
I know I've said this on the show before, but I noticed birds so early that I think of it as my very first memory.
Oh.
So, and yeah, I can tell it just, everyone is already like, yeah, I know. You're like, yeah.
Where were you living?
I was living in Michigan, which is where I was born. I was sitting in the backyard sandbox that we had, which was by a hedge, and I heard a big commotion happening in the hedge, and I stuck my face through the branches, and there were a whole bunch of birds in there, and that was the first time I remember noticing them. Now, I don't remember spending a lot of time bird watching as a teenager, but I don't feel like I ever completely had them offline, if you know what I mean.
You were busy doing other things as a teenager, from what I remember.
Right, yeah. But I don't think I ever, didn't notice birds, but I didn't certainly, foster relationships with them.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, should we end it on a bird note? I mean...
Feels brand specific or brand appropriate,
I guess.
for the Bittersweet Life.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a bird song I can sing about love and birds. Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's more Rockin' Robin.
yeah, that's right. Rock and Rob. That's really not about love. There are birds in the hill and the sky. Da 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 da. Da 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 singing. And I think to myself, what a wonderful. That's about the wonderful world, though. That's love of the world. Well, anyway.
All right, well, we'll leave it there. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, and send in your bird songs about love.
Yeah, if there are any. Until next time, love you guys.
Love you back.
I love you.
And until next time, this is The Bittersweet Life. I'm Katy Sewell.
And we love you, audience.
And I'm Sara Zoller. No, I'm not.
I'm Dana. Call. No, I'm Dana Zoller.
What is my name? I'm Sarah. I've had too many last names. I'm Sarah Call.
And until next time.
That was a hot mess.
Let's try it one more time. I'm going to leave all this in. Okay. And until next time. I'm Katy Sewell.
I'm Dana Zoller. I'm Sarah Call.
And we will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye. So stupid.
If you love this show, support it. For as little as $5 every month, you get to hear 2 bonus episodes and even say hello during upcoming meetups online. That's every month for as little as $5. Visit thebittersweetlife.net and click support to explore ways to pitch in to keep this show you love on the air.